Hello, hello, guys. Welcome to the surprise stream. My name is Haunted Goose. I am your spooky hostess for this morning, evening, depending on where you are in this great big wide world of ours. It is rainy and stormy and perfect weather for uh, our stream today. Well, thank you guys also so much. For those of you guys who voted, it was kind of a landslide. Uh, we had between uh, our Beetlejuice Queen or oh, if you hear the crackling, that's a candle that I have here on the side. I forgot to inaugurate our stream for today, but we are lighting a candle for good vibes today. But thank you guys for voting for that because honestly, I was kind of torn um, between the two. I could not decide which of our queens to sketch out. So let me know if you have. Let me see. Eh, I'm just gonna. I think that's like a better view. So I have our sketch pencils right here laid out. Also with our eraser, which I swore I had on my desk, but somehow ended up under a pile of sketchbooks, which makes sense because I was like painting earlier, so that made sense why it was hiding because it thought it had a break today, but no, 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 no. There was never a break for any of my art supplies. They're always on standby one way or another. So today's dream. Oh, I also had some people ask me how the mushrooms are doing. They're doing great. I laid down another layer, at least for this bad boy. So it's coming along slowly but surely, but you'll probably see a post on it soon. And then once I finish that, then I can hop on to our Studio Ghibli little guy. I also had a super fun request yesterday where one of you guys wanted to see if on Monday I can follow one of Bob Ross's tutorials, like painting tutorials. So I'm gonna try and scope out something like that this weekend because I thought that was hilarious. And I also got some news. I had my meeting with the library like for the piece I'm doing, and they'll be hosting it September, so I have some time. So I may do three paintings instead of the one because I thought originally the date that they gave me to post up the art that they commissioned me for was for next month. But since they gave me like that extra time, uh, then I was thinking of adding two more pieces onto it. So um, we'll most likely be doing some of those on future streams. Don't mind me, I'm like sharpening these bad boys with like an old eyeliner sharpener um, just before we do that. So let me just, I have some references of our girl over here on the side. But yeah, how you guys doing? Like while I'm setting this up. I also have a lot of you guys were really sweet that you guys really liked my relationship advice that I gave on last stream just because I had some of you guys ask on my Instagram and message me. And two more people message me, so we'll be on that topic as well. I just want to make sure everybody who does want to hop onto the stream, especially it's not one of our regular Mondays and Wednesdays schedule streams. It's like the surprise one. I just want to make sure everyone who does want to hop in hops in. And let me just. So what I like to do, at least with my drawing references, is I like to use Inkscape to kind of make this like pinboard of uh, like just all the images at once so then I don't have to click back and forth. But this helps me especially with picking different poses. I'll probably just do a warm up for now and then eventually make it into a for real piece, but we'll see how it goes. I haven't sketched in like a couple of days. I've been mostly painting. So I'm probably gonna be rusty for a little bit. So tell you the truth, this stream is gonna help me out a lot to iron out some of this stuff before, because it's true, I get into like modes, I guess. Da, da, da. Let me. So yeah, you can just basically, uh, in case you guys want to see what I'm doing back here. So basically, what I do is take all of the images and stuff and just put them into one board. Um, Most likely like my primary pose here, and then I like having different hand poses because I can never decide. And then most likely I want to practice because I haven't. This is the first time I've ever drawn her. I've been dying to, so I was super happy when you guys picked her. Um, but for me, hands are one thing I can never decide on. Like I'm pretty good with at least full body. But especially it's not to dig on this artist because I love this fan art. That's why I chose it because it's a great reference. But also like her arms are a bit on the shorter side to like the style that I would want. So but not to dig on the artist at all because they did a marvelous job, especially with like coloring and shading and stuff. Like I'm not close to this level. And then these references here on the side to the right are figurine poses, which if you struggle with anatomy just like me, I pick either real life poses but also figurine poses. So if you like Google or search up figurines, they're it's pretty helpful because of the joints and the pieces that you could see. And also they have like 3D pictures a lot of the times of the figurines when they sell it. So the only thing is that my like the that's like the pro, and then the only or one of like the cons I would say is like the limitation of movement. So um yeah, that is what I recommend. So da, da, da. Let me just do that real quick. Export. Hopefully I put it in the wrong. Yeah, I did. Okay. I know it always exports it to where I don't want it. So, all right. So basically that's what I do to kind of put all the poses and stuff in like one image. So then if I want to look at a specific reference or anything, it's just all there instead of like clicking back and forth. But if I want to look at more detailed and stuff. But yeah. Okay, so I have that done. And I'm just gonna click back over so then you guys can see as I'm sketching. But yeah, I'll also address you guys' questions. Um, if you guys want to see the references or anything, just let me know. I can like message them to you guys or uh, like at least like the specific ones. Or do you guys would you guys want like the references like as we're drawing along, or are you guys good with your own references? Just let me know if you wanted to like exactly follow along, or because what I can do is kind of shrink that to size and then you guys can like peek through the specific reference here on the side. But if anything, just let me know. Because I feel some of you guys came prepared. You guys were eager to see our girl. Alrighty, so I'm just gonna hop on here. So love advice. I always like to preface my advice with number one, I'm not a mental health professional. I worked in behavioral therapy like 3 odd years ago. I had my certification, but just because of time and where I live now, it has expired. So I don't even feel confident saying those credentials because literally the certificate I have is expired, just due to where I live and then the lack of resources. I'm able to renew it, but all of the advice that I give, it's because it's through my lens and through my experience, which is limited. So, Any advice that you do not agree with or that you feel doesn't apply to you, please like take my advice with a grain of salt and never feel that like my word is law or anything. Especially I am just like an ambiguous voice, in uh, the internet. Basically, I talk through my own lived experiences, which is definitely not going to be yours. Um, but I feel some of the challenges and things that I've gone through, I'm kind of one of those hippy dippy people that I believe people go through things for a reason. And some of the discomfort or lessons that I've learned, I feel it's because there was a lesson behind it. So hopefully, maybe through the things that I've lived, um, there's like a lesson somewhere in there that hopefully you guys wouldn't have to go through. That uh, same pain you can kind of learn through mine. Um, and maybe there's people who have also gone through similar things, and we can kind of bond through that. But the first question, and mind you, anytime any of my followers like ask me certain things, I always say, at least in the comments and stuff, that uh, it's private. So it's basically anytime you ask me a question, it's something that um, it's anonymous. So um, unless you tell me specifically that you want your name attached to it, I will always assume that you would want this question asked privately. So, let me just dig in here real quick. So, the first question that I was asked by a follower was if um, my in the last stream I commented about my long distance relationship, and the follower asked me kind of what if I recommended long distance, and if so, what were some struggles, uh, like common struggles during my relationship, that I would give advice of. Like, so for fellow people who are also in a long distance relationship, what are some like good advice tips for couples out there? I will preface this with saying that the majority of my relationship was long distance. Um, I guess to give my advice, I would need to give you the background of kind of how I met my husband and how we became long distance and things like that. So, um, my relationship with my husband was because I, funny enough, worked with his sister. We became best friends. We're still best friends to this day. Um, through a Starbucks job, so we were both baristas. I came back from a teaching job in Japan, going back to school, and I was looking into, funny enough, like going back abroad. But I was still sending in my applications and blah blah blah, and one thing led to another, and I wanted to make some extra cash, and so I accepted a job as a barista in a local Barnes and Noble. And then through that, I met his sister, his family. Yeah, like I basically met the whole network of family before I even met him, which is super crazy. And how we became long distance was because he is a military member, and we met because when he was on leave for 1 month, I met him 2 weeks before he was basically asked to come back from his leave. And so, yeah, that's how that happened. Now, a lot of people, when they hear that story, they'll be like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. Like, you hardly knew each other. Like, how could you be? Yeah, yeah. And that's why I always say not all relationships are as simple as that, or as, like labeled like, oh, yes, it was like a perfect Cinderella story of like we met each other and we instantly knew and blah, blah, blah. And there were um, obviously some, how could I say, like where we were both this was like both of our first relationships, funny enough. Um, I never really dated before, and he never really dated before. And that's why when I say um, it has to be long distance relationships, they work in the sense of like where it takes two people. Funny, unless like you're in a polyamorous relationship, obviously, then that's a whole different other story. But when it comes to my experience of having like a long distance relationship, the I guess the real recipe of like why it quote unquote worked was because, we both made it work. Um, so it was kind of like there were struggles, just like with any relationship in any situation, whether you are 6 feet apart or 600 miles apart, where there was things that were important to both of us, that we got out right away when it came to um, what was important to us in a relationship. And definitely commitment was one of them, and making the time, because with long distance relationships, there's a lot of hardships that come with that. Um, like missing each other and finding the time uh, to make it work. And if you guys aren't both on the same page, it gets very, very difficult very fast. So, what I say is that in any relationship, whether long distance or you guys are close to each other, be as honest as possible early on with your intentions with each other and your goals. Um, because especially in a long distance relationship, um, people tend, from what I've heard from other people and also in long distance, within my experience, it's that there's a lot of sacrifices being made from one person to the other. And if you guys aren't on the same page, it gets like people can get hurt very easily, very, very fast. And if there isn't clear communication, and I know that sounds super cheesy, but if one or the other partner isn't clear with what it is that they both want, then it just gets very painful. Um, and especially that you don't see each other every day. So the conventional things of seeing each other, going on dates, especially if that's something that your partner wants to feel close and it's defining what that means to you. Because, at least for us, it was kind of like, yeah, we were long distance, but our goal was that one day it wasn't going to be like that. So it was kind of like where month by month we eventually wanted to close the gap, right? Because that's what our goals were. But I knew couples who, you know, um, they were long distance and they were okay with it being casual and seeing other people on the side, or where it was something that was a short term thing, and then eventually they did find commitment within a couple of months or things like that. But that's something that you even see, like long distance relationships kind of lag on for like a super, super long time. And then you and the other person just don't see eye to eye as far as traveling or moving in with each other or things like that. Like a lot of these tough talks get postponed, and I have seen a lot of heartache with my friends and things like that when that happens. So have those tough conversations early on. I mean, I can't be the only one who's seen 90 Day Fiancé. And I feel half of those like struggles that I see, I'm just like, why didn't they talk about this like within the first couple of dates or stuff? Because I understand technology and stuff is not a replacement for real life conversations, but at the end of it, it's like, you gotta talk about what's important to you and what it is that you intend to do in the relationship, because I'm telling you, it is. I hope whoever asked me that, like, that answers your question. So, do I recommend long distance relationship? Yes, only if it's with the person that eventually, um, like, you are willing to, like, you guys are on the same page as far as what it means, and that you guys have similar goals. Um, I do not recommend long distance relationships if it's something, because it's not easy. It is not an easy thing to do, but when you're with the right person, it's kind of like it's worth it. You know, like, I'm only talking about the sense a lot of people think like, "Oh, you're married, so you won." There is no winning and there is no losing when it comes to relationships. I just think in and of itself, like, people beat themselves up because we're in an internet age, and a lot of my friends are younger than me. They're probably, if you guys don't know, don't let the like voice fool you. I'm 28, turning 29, and a lot of my friends they're younger than me, and especially with COVID and stuff like that, the internet is kind of the only way to socialize a lot of the times. So don't beat yourself up, you know, if internet relationships are where it's at for you, but where, I feel a lot of people get in trouble or at least hurt very frequently is that they're not honest with the way, um, not so much the way that they are, but like their goals in life and what it is that they want and their needs. So you can be surprised, when you're honest with your partner and you're honest with yourself. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to have somebody who loves you and who is um, devoted to you, and things like that. Don't be ashamed um, that you want these things. Because in a lot of times, uh, like especially now, loneliness is a very real fear and it's a very real thing, but don't feel like loneliness is your um, only motivation to be with somebody because that's still an investment and it's still your energy, right? So, in a lot of ways, you going into a long distance relationship out of a fear of loneliness is not enough. Like, I can tell you, like, even though, again, this was my first relationship, this was something that for me, um, I was kind of always the kind of person, and this is why I feel like a fraud anytime I give advice. I was actually very surprised when I got those messages because I was like, you want to hear what I have to say? Are you sure? But it is work, and it's something that you are. I always believe that people um, aren't these like endless wells of energy and love and all that stuff that like it comes from somewhere. So um, when you go into a relationship, no matter how casual you want it, no matter, just make sure that you guys are on that same page and you guys are both getting what it is, like your needs met. Um, because if not, it gets very painful very fast. Um, and you would see, like, oh boy, I've had a lot of conversations with um, my good friends uh, that they would be in these relationships for months and months and months, and uh, like the other person wouldn't communicate what they wanted, or they wanted a specific thing, but time difference, or um, I'm telling you, a phone call when it comes to uh, when you're in a long distance relationship, there were times where I was waiting by the phone and wondering, oh, what are they doing? And oh, uh, is he out with his friends? Is he this and that? And blah, blah, blah. And that was all me. I knew that was my insecurities and those were things. But also, I was very open about it. I was very um, clear about, when I felt something and it was okay to ask for assurance, for reassurance, and hey, I'm feeling like this, and how it's not about, and I think I talked to one of my friends before this stream just to make sure that I, when I give advice, I always want it to be a place from love and from understanding because I remember what it was like on the other end, in that dating sphere. It's been a while, but I remember what it was like and all those insecurities and all of those things, which I still have. Um, but I talked to one of my friends who she's dating, and I, I told her I was like, you know, that anxiety, and that like that was sometimes hours or days or, and like it felt awful, like when you just didn't feel secure or when you um like really trust your partner um and and it's so funny when you talk to them later about it because they have those same things too. So what she was telling me was, when she would experience those things, she wouldn't tell her partner or anything like that out of a sense of like, well, I just felt weak or I felt like if I told him he would think I was crazy. And I go, no, because like 9 out of 10 times that person is also feeling that. So if I could give my very long-winded advice is that when it comes to long distance relationships, please, it's always important um, in any relationship, but I think even more so in a long distance one. Please be um, clear with what it is that you want and also about your emotions and what you're feeling and when you need reassurance as a partner. So, whether it's out of a base of um, fear or if it's out of a base of loneliness or insecurity, or if it's like me, where I come up with these crazy theories out of nowhere with like, no, I cannot tell you how many times I thought, like, my husband, like, at that time when we were dating, like, every Friday night I was like picturing him out with the boys and out like doing crazy stuff all the time and it's so funny because it's like now that we're married and stuff I get to kind of see him in his like natural habitat of things of work and stuff like that and I'm just like this boy doesn't even have time to like look up a YouTube video other than like or look up from anything other than his work and league. So I don't know. And he loves like video games and stuff and literally like who he was when we were dating is who he is when we're married. And like that's the thing. Like the more you spend time with people and uh that's the answer too. Just time. Only time tells and then just asking the right questions, of what's important to you. But hopefully that answered your question. I'm sorry if that was super long-winded and something. Just let me know at least through DMs or something if that was something that like you would want more detail. I can't imagine you would want more detail because I felt that was super long and over explaining. So I'm just gonna look up my reference real quick. And then the second question that I got was about my experience as a military wife. So what, which is super funny because I remember on the last stream I was like, oh God, I feel so gross using that word. uh, oh God, I do love the questions though. I laughed mostly because somebody was like, tell me about the shrooms. I want to know about the shrooms. So like that question made me laugh so hard, so I sent them a picture of the shroom and it's like the shroom's doing fine. We haven't quit the shrooms. The shrooms almost quit me at some point just 'cause like the paper almost broke, um but yeah, definitely let me know in the chat if you want me to lift the mic and be like, no, no more love advice. I would rather not hear about these tales of experience. But this can be our last one. Um, unless you guys have something in the chat that you wanted to chime in or anything like that. But um, so what it is like being a military spouse. So they wanted kind of my hot take on it. Um, to tell you the truth, I don't look at myself like that. It sounds weird, and it could be because I am sorry. I'm like picking the eraser shavings. But the way I look at it, it's kind of like I'm married and then my husband has a specific job. You know, there's nothing, I've never been married before, so I wouldn't know what it's like being like a civilian wife and then a military. So I can't tell you. I can only base off of my own relationship. I don't know. I think it's kind of weird to, in my opinion, to like base my identity off of my husband's work. It's like the same if like my husband was like, "Oh, what's it like being married to um like an artist or like a teacher?" Or, like I wouldn't say artist, like I'm not professional in any way. But what's it like, being I'm more of an educator. What's it like being married to like a teacher? You know, in my mind and in my heart, it's just kind of like I'm married to my husband who so happens to be in the military. And then for him, I can imagine him saying, like, yeah, I just married my wife who so happens to work in this profession. So, like, there are, uh, I think, because even the question it was kind of asked because they're also in a relationship with a military member, so I guess they wanted some hot takes and some hot tips, like what it's like on the other side of, like making it official. It's the only thing that I can think of, at least, that was different, or it was just really moving in together. Like, I guess the officiality of it, like the government acknowledging, but it's silly, by the end of it. Um, like it was funny because the person asked and then they asked what other military wives are like, and I can't tell you just because, well, number one, COVID kind of hit within the range of like us being married, and so in a way it was a blessing that we got married when we did because we didn't have to go through all of the paperwork. I cannot imagine being married or going through all of that stuff now, with how COVID and stuff is. That must be, God bless you if you're in that transition because, oh my gosh, like it was a lot of paperwork back then, but I can only imagine if it's a lot of paperwork now. Um, but, oh, sorry, I'm just gonna go right here. So yeah, all I say is a lot of paperwork, but, like it really shouldn't change anything because when you date, um, at least how, other than the whole long distance thing, and then it got a lot better once we started living together. Um, but too, it depends a lot of your partner's job. So, what's called an MOS. So it's kind of like the job title of your significant other, or if you're actually a military member also, and then so is your significant other. We had a couple of friends that were also in that situation, and you just make it work, man. Like, y the good thing is at least, well, I guess it depends, but you kind of get a taste for it pretty early on, um, especially in the early stages of your relationship. Just know that um, a lot of the times the job comes first. That's just what it is. Like, in and of itself, when they're given whatever assignment or stuff. There is no real like days off, or sometimes when there's holidays and stuff, yeah, which is awesome. So there's things called like 96s. Oh, that's another thing too. There's lots of acronyms. So get very comfortable with acronyms as somebody who is outside the military sphere. There's lots of acronyms everywhere all the time. And there's like a whole, it's like a whole new language. But the only thing that really changed, it was just normal. I know I hate to be boring, but there's really nothing crazy about uh like it's just normal like living stuff. And I don't know, I guess with my household it was I guess that's what it is too. I came from a very strict household. So like the idea of moving, let's say on base or anything like that, it's kind of it's very similar to like a closed neighborhood. People know each other. A lot of people don't like living on base because, you know, everybody looks at you depending on where you work, and um, there's a code of ethics. And I know the people who struggled. Now, I'm sure you can tell by the way I talk, and, you know, I'm a very old lady and I work with kids constantly. So, like, the transition of going from like somewhere like Miami for me to another state, and that's primarily a military town. It's like when people hear Miami, they're like, "Oh my gosh, it's such a party." Oh my gosh, like you're so no, I was always an old lady. I grew up very in a bubble-like way. So for me, my hobbies have always been drawing, knitting, like going to the library. So going from like a quote unquote party town like Miami to different stations that we've moved to hasn't been that much of a stretch because I always find my way back to any town that we've gone in. Like if there's always a library and if there's art supplies and you know things like that, I always find my center some way. I'm a big advocate for mental health, so I know one of the questions kind of slanted towards like what were the hardships of, and I would have to say the moving and then kind of finding your new normal. Um, I had that experience prior to getting married, so like where when I moved to Japan for my work for 3 months at a time, I sought out therapy to help me with adjusting. So I knew kind of what to look for as far as what my, uh, I guess, like finding new support. Just because there were going to be like a lot of stresses and stuff like that. And when you don't have a good support system, especially when you've moved to another country and there's a time difference, making new friends, it's almost like starting all over again. And having something that you can control, that's my biggest advice. So, so whether that means volunteering somewhere. Um, I know finding a job as a spouse, as a non military spouse, is difficult, um, but finding a support group that kind of helps you get out of your own head a lot of the times, especially that in a lot of ways, your military spouse is going to have a network of people that they work with, that they're responsible for good or for bad. Like they are tied to a community, and you have every right to tap into that community too in different ways. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go through spousal groups, but like there's other groups too. Um, just because like for me I slant towards like the artistic groups and um but for me I found um at least on base and stuff like that, a lot of the times there's a lot of drama. It was very I don't know, it was very Desperate Housewives sometimes, you know. So for me, oh boy, I definitely have a story or two if you guys ever um, want that spice, but at least for me, um, I like to kind of find my own thing. So I was a little bit of a rebel, I guess. I was very much like, no, I want my own friends. You know, you can have your friends. And even though like his friends were super cool, I loved like his friends, especially from like his unit and stuff. There was a lot of like couples there, and I never had like couple friends before. So we would go like on double dates and stuff, and it was like super fun. This was like pre-COVID, you know, so when we would actually go out. So it's difficult now. Um, it was difficult back then, but it's more difficult now because there's restrictions and things on top of it. So just find your clan, man. Like, there's programs out there. If like let's say you're not into the mental health sphere where um, like you want to go in for counseling or anything like that, because that is a thing. But I understand like people's experiences with mental health professionals isn't the best because um, of whatever reason that they have every right to. Finding clubs or like kind of like even music groups. There's like a lot of options out there. It's just finding it and trying it out. Some clubs suck, I can tell you that. Like, I remember back in North Carolina, I tried to like uh, join like a knitting group and stuff, but like they would meet and then cancel every 5 minutes, and it was not fun. But eventually I found like art groups and book clubs and stuff like that. It just took a while. Um, and but yeah, that's at least my advice. That you will most likely go through phases, especially I would hear this from other spouses, of even if you just move towns, like being, let me see, how can I explain it? Like, not culture shock, but it's kind of like starting over again as um, like without your family and your friends close by. Especially, God bless you guys that like have kids and stuff. I don't know how you guys do it. Um, like we have a puppy, and it was like literally binders and binders of paperwork. So God bless you guys, especially moms and dads out there that um, are going through all this stuff with kids at home and stuff. So um, it's a very big transition for any family. Uh, but there are um, what you been call it? There are, sorry, for whatever reason, fingers for me, like I can't multitask with that. Um, there are resources. That's what I meant. There are resources. It's just that it's harder um, to find. Oh, excuse me, I had to sneeze. Um, there are resources for everyone. It's just it's harder to find then because you're used to your network of people, and it's okay to feel. A lot of the times there was a lot of guilt when I would talk to other spouses and stuff. There was like a lot of guilt for um, like feeling the way that they did, and you really shouldn't. Like the only thing is don't like a lot of the times they would like blame their partner or the town or stuff like that. But to tell you the truth, it's gonna happen um, no matter where you go because it's not gonna be easy. Like, no town will be like what you grew up with or replace the people that you have. And that's okay because it's very much within your power to make it yours. There's a lot of, it's scary because, it's freedom. And sometimes, as when we're growing up and stuff, we lived under a specific household with specific rules or lack thereof. And, but it's your space, and so that can be very scary but empowering at the same time, I guess. So that's my take on it. Being a military spouse for me, at least the way that I look at it, it's just, it's like being like anything. It just my husband just so happens to work at a certain thing, and so we face challenges and certain things, but it doesn't define like who we are as people, and it's kind of like I try and support him with what he needs to do and with his lifestyle. Um, and uh, I don't know. I guess it's not very different from how I grew up, but I know when you do have challenges like that, just communicate them to your partner, like be real about it. It's okay to miss your family. It's okay to not like feel like you don't fit in or you don't understand certain things, but you can like do something about it. Don't feel like you're alone. Like, don't feel that you're alone. Don't feel that you can't do anything about it, and that it's necessarily the place that you're in. Because, funny enough, probably 2 or 3 years down the line, you're not going to stay there. So that's the fun thing, at least, about being a military spouse. Nothing is constant. There's things that are always changing. There's plans that are always happening at the last minute. Um, but yeah, that's the advice I would give. If you are looking at being in a relationship, or you are a military spouse, or you're with somebody, or you are, just know that change is always constant, and just be on the same page with your spouse, especially. And don't be ashamed if if you're not happy at the moment with where you're living, and uh, there's a lot of adjusting, there's a lot of changing, and oh man, and too with like deployment or training or any of that stuff, yeah, finding something outside of your partner to do, um, like in the sense of like hobbies or um, definitely support groups. Very, very important, because there's going to be times where your partner isn't allowed to communicate with you. And it's very stressful, and it's very, especially when so much of your day, like your day to day, is kind of surrounded by schedule and rules, and making sure certain things are done. And I know, at least for me, a lot of what my day is just making sure everything's okay, so then like the house is running smooth. So why do I feel these fingers are not, see, this is why I can't multitask. So yeah, that is my advice, guys. I'm gonna shut up and fix these fingers. But if you guys have any like questions, or hopefully the people who did uh need those questions answered, you know, like hopefully I answered your questions. But yeah, I'll just be quiet for now. And yeah. Oh, I got another question. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, this user asked how I met my husband. Oh, okay. I just answered this, but just in case they're tuning in or anything. I met him through my very good friend who just so happened to be his sister. And I guess I can give you guys the introduction of, how we met and blah blah blah. Uh, so I would hang out with my friend who's his sister, and she at the time was always hanging out at her boyfriend's house. So it just so happened that that day we were scheduled to hang out. So it's kind of like it was probably like a Friday or Saturday, and uh, I went over to her boyfriend's house to like meet up with her. So like we met up at uh, the gym. So he lives in kind of this like cul-de-sac place that has a gym. And so we were doing like workouts and stuff. And her brother was basically like crashing there. And so after our workout, we went basically to the room that like he was crashing in, and that was like the first time I met him. And it was super funny because I thought he was the cutest thing, and I was all tongue tied and was like, oh my gosh. And like, he would not look at me, and I swore that he hated my guts. And oh, hello, Cosmic Opie. Hi, how you doing? It's so funny because I just got a question on Instagram on how I met my husband. So I'm giving the origin stories of our love. But let me know if you have any specific questions while I answer this one. So basically, I was saying how my husband, like the first time I met my husband, I swore he hated my guts because I talk a lot and I thought he was so cute, and I just kept asking him stupid questions. So like I kept asking him because he's at the time like talking about his job and blah blah blah. And I think one of the questions I asked him is if he ever threw a grenade before. Like, I don't know why this was the first thing that like popped in my head. And he like looked at me and then he was like, yeah, I have. And I was like, so what was it like? Like, how do you even throw a grenade? And then he looked at me and he's like, why do you want to know? Oh, ice water. um, uh, Already ice water. I shall address you as such. Um, and he was like you just pull the pin and you throw it, and I go, oh, wow, that's so fascinating. And I don't even know what else. But I swore he hated my guts, and up until I guess his sister played Cupid and gave him my phone number, and then texted me, and then well, the rest is history. We had our first date was on uh, like probably that Monday or something like that, and he took me out to like a local restaurant, and then we had coffee after. And then every time he tells the story, not that we've told this story many times, like we're kind of like past that phase now that we're like 3 years like into our relationship, but anytime he always says like, oh, like she like kissed me first, and oh my gosh, she just couldn't keep her hands off me. Oh God, I get red just even thinking about it. He always tells people that, and I'm just like, God, like, he's the worst. But yes, if you have any specific therapy questions, even though I'm not a licensed therapist, please seek mental health you know, professional questions from a mental health professional. I am not, I'm just a random person on the internet who loves drawing anime waifus and who just has experiences in long distance relationship and just general stuff. I don't know. I like talking about psychology, but definitely, if you have any specific questions, always love to hear them. And also trying to figure out this hand. So do not mind me. Yes, I do. I did. I put a poll on my Instagram between her and apparently like they're doing these figurines of gender bend like Beetlejuice and Mike Myers and like Edward Scissorhands and stuff. So I like put a one, but I was so happy when you guys picked Android 21 because I was so sad to hear she's not in the anime. I swore, I don't know why, in my mind, I was like, yeah, she's totally in the anime. And somebody was like, nah, she's just in the video games, bro. And I was like, what? Is this true? It's because I haven't watched the new Dragon Ball, so I had no idea. I just know I really like Beerus's design, and there's Super Saiyan other people from other dimensions. Oh, thank you so much. To tell you the truth, I was talking about like long distance and love and stuff, and then halfway through, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna lift up my mic because I have no idea what I'm doing. Multitasking is something I need to work on, which is why I do these streams. So, how are you doing, my ice watery friend? My liquid. Oh, really? Oh, I was about to say, I was just like, oh, wow. Like, I was like, I feel really bad for your best friend's ex's hand because, like, by my rendition, like, they've at least broken four fingers. Like, there's easily like cartilage damage somewhere in this vicinity. But yeah, I had some of our lovely followers ask about long distance, basically. Just to recap, so then you don't have to watch. Oh, good. That's awesome. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I try. But we had some followers ask about long distance and how that's super fun and basically uh, I'm trying to recap so then you don't gotta like watch the rest like the beginning of the video. Just general like relationships. Oh, and basically like how like I'm a military spouse, so like what that experience is like and blah blah blah. Ooh, okay. Alrighty, what do you want to know about long distance? What detail? Because I got a lot of thoughts and opinions. I will say that the relationship I have with my husband, it was kind of so I was a loner, so then you kind of know my background and experience. Since I kind of came from a background of like strictness and blah blah blah, he is my first boyfriend, and it just I was just always in the space of like not being interested in dating. I was kind of like the person that I have a lot of friends that are girls, and I was always happy with that. And I just was never into that scene just because of, I don't know, I just liked, I'm social, but I like keeping to myself, and relationships always seemed like a lot of drama. So I was kind of always the friend that picked up the pieces. So when it came to like my husband, because he was like the brother of one of my really good friends, oh, okay, everything. So, all right, I can tell you everything. All right, buckle up. I hope you have a caffeinated beverage. Just get comfy. Oh no, that's fine. Like get comfortable cuz I got a lot of opinions. So, he's he is and was, I guess, my only real relationship because I wasn't interested in dating, and he was like the first person that I'm like, ah, I wouldn't mind getting my heart smashed in a million pieces by you, you know? Because everybody else kind of was like, nah, nah, I'd rather just keep to myself, and, you know. So my, yeah, so my, oh, that's okay. You can say that line as much as you want. This is a free space of like comfort and, you know, expression. So yeah, I say my stamp, at least because I've talked about this with my other friends who've done long distance relationships. Um, my thing, it's like it does, yes. Like my thing is like, yes, do it only if it's something that like you both understand, or if you're in a polyamorous relationship, that everyone is on the same page. Um, where um, all of your expectations, your needs, communication is clear, and everyone knows what is to be expected. Because believe it or not, long distance it does require a lot of communication, a lot of uh, like I don't know, like for me it was difficult, but it was worth it. Just because of the person I was with, being consistent and um, fulfilling, I guess, that part of my life that I was clear in having. So definitely being secure in what you want, and um, definitely don't do it with somebody who is not on the same page with you or wants to, uh, like, how can I put it? Investment? Because a lot of where people get hurt is because, like, either one or the other person isn't clear with what it is that they need. Um, and then it's kind of like there's a lot of hurt that happens with that because a lot of time has been invested, a lot of money between traveling back and forth. Because I'm telling you, those nights of, you know, like not hearing from your partner or insecurities bubble up, because that definitely happens. I think a lot of, oh yeah, like I a lot of people think like, "Oh, when you're married, you won." There is no winning in love. Like I can tell you this, it's a relationship. There's no winning. There's no like, "Yes, I got the ring. That's it." There's no more insecurities. Like, no, no, no. That's not what relationships are at all. Everyone's human, and by the end of it, yeah. Did that answer anything? Are there specific long distance things that you wish to ask? Just because it's true, like there are um, sacrifices that need to be made. There is like a lot of waiting, and if you are not in the same page with your partner, I have seen it with other people of my friend groups that they tried long distance and it didn't work, in the sense of like they still stayed friends, but um and I try not to um like be like, oh yes, like they failed because of this, or they failed because, no, by the end of it it wasn't going to work out, because by the end of it it didn't matter that it was long distance or not. Like, just when you communicate certain things earlier, there's a lot less heartbreak, you know um because then you find out that you guys don't have the same goals, or the same aspirations, or foundation of stuff, or even when you're just there. Oh yeah, thank you. Oh yay, I'm so glad you guys can tell. Like there's part of me, I'm just like, is she even looking like this? Sorry, I'm going down the rabbit hole of relationship advice. But she is the supreme waifu. I do love her. I just love that like Dragon Ball like got on the ball, at least video game wise, of like just adding like pink and stuff, and I don't know, like I felt if aesthetic wise, uh oh no, that's no problem. Oh no, is it because like you can't see the, just let me know if it's like something with my camera, or oh, I apologize if you just hear my Disney mouse voice. I at least think that like I lure people with like my semi good, semi bad art. I apologize if the only thing you can like enjoy is like my Mickey Mouse voice. Oh, also if I get too preachy, just definitely let me like reel me in because I go on tangents. So especially I'm caffeinated. Oh, yay. Okay, good. I get passionate about it because I feel a lot of people go through like really tough things and it's not their fault. It's just that like just because a relationship doesn't work, I will tell you this because I told one of my friends this and like I don't know who needs to hear this, but I just felt like this conviction to like talk to somebody about this. But please know that if a relationship does not work, it is not because you are a failure. It is not because like you are unlovable. It is not because like you're a piece of crap or whatever. Do not fall into that. Like just because a relationship didn't work, it doesn't mean that like you're less than or anything of those things. Um, it just means that you guys weren't a fit and it is better. I will tell you this. It is better. I have seen generations of this in my family because my family was the type that like were uber religious for many generations and they didn't believe in divorce and all that stuff. So I literally my grandmother was like she got divorced at like 84. Like that type. Yay. Oh, good, good. Um yeah, I will happily lift the mic if it gets too preachy. But yeah, she got divorced at 84. So I have seen firsthand what it does to people being in a loveless, bitter relationship where you're trying to fix each other. Do not, yes. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. She was a very big inspiration in my life because she was so sweet and so loving and I never understood growing up why they stayed the way that they did. I think later on it's kind of like it was a generational thing. And also it's kind of like we stay together because of the kids, to each their own. By the end of it, it takes two and it was her choice and it was something that we always wanted to respect. But it's something that I at least I looked at that growing up and said, okay, maybe not. Maybe that's not the way a relationship could be like that. And if you are in that situation, I would never want you to feel that like, oh no, like you need to like muscle up and get out. By the end of it, it is a choice that you make daily. It's not like one day you wake up and be like, oh my gosh, I'm in a crappy relationship. No, like I legitimately feel, a lot of TV and yeah, like a lot of TV and stuff like that. Like especially for whatever reason, Hallmark does a really great job of like giving me this. I'm telling you, if you watch Hallmark movies, like as bad as they are, like they make you a little paranoid about your significant other going on vacation because for whatever reason, like these women or these guys go on vacation one day and like completely are like, wow, my partner's an a-hole. I'm gonna go in and start like a bakery business. Like, life, I assure you. Yeah, it's like that. So I assure you that is a gross exaggeration of how let's say it makes you a bit paranoid, but like where you think like, oh my gosh, my partner is gonna wake up one day and find that he completely regrets the decision. Yeah, it's not like that, but we have this fear of like, oh, if I don't behave this way, if I don't look this way, if I don't blah blah blah, like my partner is gonna wake up one day and just completely leave me or blah blah blah, but it's a daily choice that we make to be in the relationships that we are in and um it is better to be honest with who you are with living the life as closely as you can because we're all going through things um and not not changing yourself or morphing yourself into something just for the sake of a relationship, that by the end of it, it's it's built on a foundation of forcing yourself into something that you're not. You know, if that makes sense? Like, by the end of it, a lot of like those Hallmark movies, if she wanted to be a baker, if she wanted to be, this thing, like those things that happen, like that was them all along, Like it was kind of like you can't um people and relationships and things like that, they're very complicated, but in a lot of ways it's because we make them complicated. We have an art as human beings of uh, just going in, and how simple would it be, to just kind of accept that, hey, rejection is a very normal part of life, and what you think of me um, is important because of the value that I put in it. So if I look at, let's say, like my husband, right, and I did early on, I will be the first to admit it, I put a lot of value of who I was as a woman in the relationship that I was in, because it was my first relationship. It was something that in my family, like, yeah, right, I put a lot of worth of being um like lovable, and like, oh, if people don't like me, if this guy who I find attractive doesn't find me attractive, like, I'm a failure. Especially, this is my first relationship, so if it goes wrong, it's my fault, and he is this representative. Yeah, it's true, and that is perfectly fine. It is perfectly fine to fear rejection because it's a normal human feeling. Um, and the only way to face it is with secure relationships. Yeah, like it is not fun. And that's just something that, like, it's very personal. Rejection looks very different to like very different people. For me, I put a lot of worth. Yeah, like, and that's the thing. It's like not everyone is going to value that, and that's okay. By the end of it, it's not someone else's job to um have you address those things. And that's what it was. It wasn't my husband's fault, at that time when we were dating, to make me feel secure. It was my job to like address those things and to communicate it to him, where it's like, hey, I'll give you a perfect example. Here we go. I am a person who, okay, I'm gonna like sum this up in like the easiest way. I get insecure, especially early on that it was long distance. I got super insecure anytime the weekend would roll around, because in my mind, I was like, oh my gosh, because he's a military member. So before we got married, he lived in the barracks. So I would get extremely insecure about the weekends because I was like, oh my gosh, like, what's he gonna be up to? Like, what? It's like that sort of thing. And oh, thank you. Um, and I would, because that was normal. Now, what I used to do is that I used to be like, no, I'm dumb for feeling this way. No, like I'm not going to be controlling, and I'm just going to be the cool girl, and I want to be not like the other girls, like that. So I'm just going to shut up and like deal with my feelings. Hell no. You know why? Because by the end of it, I got extremely anxious, and um, he would pick up on that. Like, he would be like, what's wrong? And, I would just look at my phone with this anxiety and this, like, oh my gosh, when's he gonna call? And oh my gosh, any day now he's going to, like, tell me he found somebody else, and blah, 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 blah. And then there just came a point where he was like, hey, like, you know, what's up? What's going on? Like, I feel, and I just spilled my guts out. I was like, hey, you know, um, I I know it sounds crazy, but during this time and this time, I feel this way, and I know it's not rational, and blah blah blah. And he was like, "Cool, what do you want me to do?" And I go, what? And like, he was like, yeah, do you want me to call you during this time? Do you want me to message you? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, like, yeah, if you like message me or call or something, that'd be great, and that's what I feel. A healthy relationship, it's not about controlling your partner, because we all get mistakes like that, right? Where he gets jealous or I get jealous, and then I make it his fault or he makes it my fault. And it's not anybody's fault, because it's based on something, a natural insecurity that happens within relationships, and it's okay. It's just communicating it to like where, hey, I have this thing. Can you help me out with it? It would really help me if, let's say, you go out with the boys, but you give me a text, or you send me a dank meme, or make fun of it. Like make it a fun thing and not this agonizing weak thing. And this goes to all my guys and all my girls and non binary pals, anybody out there. It's not just a chick thing and it's not just a dude thing. Everybody has this picture of like dudes being, like tough and rough, and no, like I just get jealous, when somebody looks at my girl, and girls get jealous by, um, oh, yay, I'm so happy. Like, it's good. I want to combine these things, but it's a very normal thing to feel, and you are not a weak person to feel these things. And it is okay. And think about it. These insecurities are opportunity for your partner to take care of you. And who doesn't want the opportunity? Like when my husband comes home, I know it sounds super cheesy, but when he tells me that he's had a rough day and all he wants is, like, let's say a cup of tea or something, like I glow up or something like that, because for me, like, it's like, hey, look, I can do something. This is something that, like, I can come up to bat. I'm great at doing this thing. And I know it's the little things, and I feel that that's something everyone deserves, and you shouldn't like be made to feel ashamed for those things, because I have heard so many stories of girls going to guys and being like, hey, I feel insecure about this thing, and then guys or girls get like, well, that sounds like a you problem, because it's a defensive thing. Because a lot of the times when we tell our insecurities, it's because we blame it on the other person. And so, what's the natural reaction? Oh, I blame you on this thing. You get defensive with me. And then we just go round and round in circles, blaming each other. Of, oh, you're cheating on me. Oh, no, like you're just being too sensitive. And oh, no, you're a bad person. And all we're telling each other is that we're bad people, and we're not focusing on like our needs. Hey, I need to feel secure right now. It would be really nice if you just tell me, that you love me. It would be really nice if, like, I just feel like not attractive right now. And, it's not the other person's job to do that, but if it's something like where you're honest about it and they're there for you, it's I feel it's like a give and take. It's just about being honest, and not putting blame for any particular way, unless it's like a specific event. Because it's happened to me, because there's certain things, especially with social media and stuff, that it's like an isolated thing, and I'm just like, okay, I don't like this specific thing, so I pick my time after league, Yeah, I mean, I don't like to speak in, like, I know one of my friends is very much into, she follows like that kind of thing, like with, oh yeah, like for me, I'm pretty much an advocate of myself. Like, I do talk to like my other friends who they're also in relationships, and this is like the same way. Like, basically how I'm speaking to you is how I speak to my friends. I don't know how to act any other way. That's why for me, I never really got far in the dating pool. Even when people did like me for whatever reason, I I was lethal. Like for me, I was very much like, no, no, not interested. No, like I was very like, because I'm very, I guess, attuned to like how I think. So it's like, so yeah, that's at least. I'm very quick to stamp out certain feelings, and you can ask my husband if I'm not if I'm not feeling a certain way, or yeah, I don't know. I hope that helps. I don't know. Yeah, at least I don't like to speak in behalf of women, but I do speak on the sense of mental health and um, how a lot of the times in relationships it's hard. It takes time and trust. I think a big part of why I feel secure about speaking on the subject and because of the relationship I'm in, it's because it's an effort of both my husband and I. Because trust me, I've always been this way, and I've had, you know, like people, want to be in relationships with me, but it's never been more than like a conversation or two or mutual friends. It didn't really get. So in that way, it's like he's really just been like the only person that makes sense. Oh, the one that's on the bottom? Yeah. Yeah, that one. Yeah, like I can make it see. Can make it appear and reappear. As you can tell, uh I've been doing traditional art a lot longer than digital. Like that's why we're just doing Wake on Wednesdays. So just digital art once a week, and then traditional. Because it's super funny that you guys like um, split up the days of the week. Because half of you guys want to do traditional, and then the other want to do digital, which is super great for me because then I can like catch up on my studies for both. Okay, now how do I draw a macaroon? See, there's certain things it's not. Oh, yay! I'm so happy because I'm pretty much of a novice, like through and through. Like I've taught art, but mostly to kids. So let me see. What the heck does a macaroon look like? See, it's not until like you draw like specific things. Yeah, right. I'm telling you, just practice. It's all practice, my friend. Do you draw too? Sorry, it's because we literally talked about relationships and stuff like that, and then like I never asked about. I apologize. I never asked about your art adventures. If that's something that you're interested in, or I know we have some people in the group that they're doing art challenges and stuff like that. Ooh, that's awesome. Oh, like graphite. I know for the life of me, I have like a set of graphite pencils. Like, like where they go through like different shading and stuff, but I can't figure it out. I try, but I just make a big smudge out of everything. Oh, nice. Yeah, honestly, I stick to mechanical, but since I always end up using like paints and stuff, it just for me, that's why I use colored pencils, and then I slowly got into using watercolor pencil because it just dissolves completely. Um, oh, that's awesome. Do you use, okay, because I I had Uncanny if you're out there, because sometimes you lurk in the streams. Because Uncanny told me about MS Paint, which I know is, of course, the platform of the gods. As far as I tried doing it on a mouse, like without my tablet, like I did, Like I I never knew because I always use fire. Yeah, I use fire alpaca basically. That's like what I use for my stuff. And then Uncanny told me about, oh, if you really want to try a digital art like a boss, do MS Paint, but then do MS Paint on a mouse. And I was just like, okay. And I will show you my monstrosity of. But what basically why I told you that story is what program do you use? Oh yeah, you're about to see this. Ooh boy. Are you ready for my masterpiece? Yeah, look at this. Look at this masterpiece that you are about to witness of my first attempt on MS Paint. Bam. Isn't that like that's like nightmare fuel. Like I I did half of it. Like I don't know if you could see my cruiser, but I did like all this part on my Wacom tablet, and then like halfway through, I was like, you know what? Let me. This isn't challenging enough. Let me nightmare fuel this even further, and just it's a thing. It is definitely a thing. But yes, please tell me what appropriate programs to use, as I just know about MS Paint. And oh my gosh, no, it does not. No, 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 no. I knew it was nightmare fuel from the beginning. It was great. But yes, I definitely need more of an education as far as digital paint. So, oh, do you use like let's say like GIMP or Adobe? So yeah, that's why I don't know anything about programs. Like I literally just know Fire, Alpaca, GIMP. What you call it? I know there's other ones. Like I literally seen like Loish, one of like the artists I follow on Instagram. Oh my gosh, no. Like I no, because Uncanny was just joking about it. Like, oh, if you really want to be a great digital artist, it was kind of like a troll challenge, I guess. Like it was one of the first challenges I did on the channel, and I was like, you know what? Let's try. Because I remember MS Paint from, oh man, because I'm one of like those older generations that we had typing classes, like where it's like they would cover the keyboard and you would type. So one of the programs that like my school computer lab had was like drawing stuff on MS Paint. Oh, okay. Oh, Clip, that's the one. Oh, which one's your favorite, I guess, out of those? And also like is it like a subscription thing? I'm sorry if I'm making you type a lot. Like eventually I will most likely do like a Discord so then all of us can, especially we have like art challenges um on the stream, so like eventually we'll get to the point of just having like a Discord so then we can all. Oh, really? Okay. So that's just something to. Oh, that's great. Yeah, because I'm just like, I'm an artist on a budget. So that's why basically I use, so then, because up till now, I think you've only caught me on my traditional art streams. So basically, what I use is this bad boy. Um, yeah, so I basically use, let me see if I can, this is just blank. So it's like, oh, wow, amazing, a blank screen. I'll probably, let me see if I have anything recent other than. Ah, oh man, wait, I have like the old one. Well, I guess you can see one of mine. Like, let me see if I can open it on. Yeah, yeah, I know. Same on here. That's why I'm trying to open like one of my older ones. There we go. The colors are. Ooh, I'm so sorry that yelled at you. I apologize. The colors are super off because I even went to like redraw it, so excuse the god awful color scheme, but No, I did. I went back because I went on a tutorial of like picking color palettes and stuff, but at least you get to see like the gist of um like Fire Alpaca. It's free. That's mostly why I used it. Uh, oh my gosh, I wish I could find. Oh, it's because I did it on my laptop. That makes sense now. I do. I have so many folders that I don't even know which is which. But that's why. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. No, it's mostly because of like the sketch and like I finally got into like gray and blue tones. Like the like this. I'm trying to remember. I'll link the tutorial. Um, oh, thank you. I'm trying to find the specific tutorial that I used because it wasn't Cynics, because I do always talk about like how great Cynics is for his tutorial, especially for the hands. Um, because I did that one stream, but I'm trying to see. I did a YouTube playlist of this because. Mm, oh, here it is. It is. Okay, so you recommend Clip Studio. I do like that it's not. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. It's lots of practice. I've been doing this for like so long and I need to. It is, and I'm trying to be like more serious about it to like where I told myself that I would steer away from drawing pretty girls like for a little bit, but I don't know, let's be for real. It's what I like to draw. So I'm just embracing. I'm trying to like find that tutorial because for me it really puts it clear because especially I come from a mindset of like painting and traditional art and then going to digital. Oh, thank you. No, no, I would love to see your work too. I do. I'm just trying to like get more resources and stuff. Like, what is it that you like to paint? No. Oh, nice. Like, what is it that you like to draw? Is it like more anime stuff, landscaping? I will. I promise I'll find this tutorial in which like I'm learning from. Literally all of my search engine is how to line work. How to. Oh, here it is. This is the guy. Oh, nice. Is there anything in particular that you like to draw specifically? This is the guy. Like I've been following his digital art stuff. Oh, sorry, that was scraping my mic. Like, do you have like a favorite? Because like for me, I'm not gonna lie, I got super tired of drawing flowers, and I guess because like that was literally like all I drew in my art classes growing up. So even though I do like I'll add flower crowns and stuff, but if I had to draw one more rose, I was done. Even though I think one of you guys requested this coming Monday that I follow a Bob Ross tutorial, which I'm gonna like research on because I thought that was hilarious. Yeah, he was pretty good. Like at least for like fixing this bad boy, like the but I'm sure like your digital art skills are far beyond comprehension to like where no, Bob Ross. The wait, is Rick Ross the oh, see, this is why I have my phone. Wait, am I getting it wrong? Now I'm like wondering. No, no, no. No, Rick Ross is the musician. No, no. No, Bob Ross. I did. I was like, I've heard this name before. Don't get it mixed up now. I caught your reference. I caught you. Yes, but also, yeah, yeah, he's the, if I recognize his face, he's like, so you think I'm crazy? That one? I'm sorry, I probably blew out your mic. Or do you? Do you really know? I know. Actually told one of my followers that he brought a squirrel to like one of like his painting things, and I'm like dying to like just have like a toy squirrel or something here on the side as I do like a Bob Ross painting. But I think I don't know if I could probably mimic. Oh, I probably will because I think that's super funny. Like I have acrylic wash and I can probably do something. We can draw mountains and stuff. Like, and I do. I actually have like a scalpel and everything. So yeah, with the hair. Yeah, he's so calming. Alrighty, so I'm gonna look at my references. But yeah, as far as are there any recommendations for a noob like me of the digital art? Like, cause I literally started digital art like a year ago, and I still can't. So please educate me if there's any like playlist or like specific people. Like I've recently gotten into, oh my gosh, Ethan Becker. I think he's hilarious. Oh, okay. You're senpai status. You're already senpai status. Like you're a strong independent artist that need no tutor or tutorial. Okay, I gotta fix this hand. See, that's why I love coming on stream because it's not until like I vocalize my thoughts that I'm like, God, all I think about are fingers and hands, and God, that doesn't look right, and no, geez, I'm gonna fix this. And I do have to admit my sketching skills. If there's anything that you ever want to ease like your sketching anxiety, you go like a further step. So, for example, if you're nervous about drawing something wrong, ink it. If you're nervous about inking something, then go into painting because for whatever reason, nothing is as scary as putting paint to paper now to me. Like me drawing a wonky line is just kind of like, nah, I'm bothered because this isn't gouache. Oh, that's so funny you mentioned art books because I like, do you look at like anatomy books? I'm like thinking, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. The fingers are getting to me, so I'm trying to like leave it up until I look at something else. But thank you so much. I'm probably more than likely going to ruin it with paint, so I'm very excited for that. Because I, especially her color scheme, like it's very much like the Copic markers I used to have, which is a super fun medium. I 10 out of 10 recommend. But I guess I lost them in the move, or I gave them to my sister-in-law by accident, but she's keeping them safe. So, and also like she's a beast with Copic markers, so it went to a good cause. Oh yeah. Oh, do you want me to like keep this untouched? Like by, are we just leaving her as a sketch? Okay, I mean, if that's what you guys are happy for, I mean, to tell you the truth, half of these streams are just for entertainment. Yeah, she is. She's our perfect queen. Like she deserves a good life, you know. I'm happy just because like I needed a good warm up anyway, so I'm happy. Oh no, that's no problem. She does. She deserves the best life, our waifu. I am. I'm so sad that she's not in that anime. I swore. I mean, are they gonna come out with anything new? I did. I promise I won't get into spoiler territory because literally I have not watched it. I just watch. I'm like one of those people. Like I'm one of those people that like I watch the um like summaries, like like those fighting summaries and stuff. I know because okay, if I tell you a good excuse, will like I be forgiven in some way? It's because I'm trying to catch up. It's because I'm trying to catch up with One Piece. I'm trying. I can only do like my peanut brain can only can only take one great anime at a time. No, you're gonna take away my excuse when I tell you like what episode I'm on. Yeah, I'm not even caught up to the manga. I'm trying to catch up to the anime, which is even more like where you'll probably send me to the corner. It's a lot. It is. It's a lot. Like I can say what we caught up. Oh, finally caught up to Castlevania. Amazing. Like tell me now if you don't want me to spoil anything. Like it is so good. Like I've never played like the Castlevania. Oh, yes. That's true. Oh no, that means do you hate Boa then? I have to admit I'm a Zoro gal. I do. But I also like agree with the ship of him and Perona, so I I allow it in my fan. Oh, okay, okay. So Castlevania is no, don't be sad. He's your man. He's your man. I joke. It's not canon. It's not canon. At least from where I'm at right now. He's your man. We won't. Hey, I'm just saying, if you want to throw Luffy in the ring as far as fan art goes, I can definitely look into that for next stream. I promise on this stream we will not have a Boa and Luffy. Uh, do not ship them on this stream. That will not happen. Oh, really? Oh, boy. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, we're gonna switch this up. I mean, I think I'm pretty happy with how she turned out in this one. So, okay, I will take your recommendation. Now, the only question is, are we drawing him from well, like I feel like his look is pretty good, but yes, we can. That is something we can turn the page. He is. I feel like his ooh, me. Any angle. All the angles. It's been a hot minute, so oh boy. Wait, let me just pull up some references. Ooh, this is fun. Okay. I know, to tell you the truth, I was going to like even start like on a different one, so this is perfect. I have not drawn him in a hot minute. Let me see. Cuz I did. I was a Zoro gal, so da, da, da. I'm guessing him not as a kid cuz that's like the first thing that like pops up. Like I'm pulling it up on my phone and I'm just like I don't think we want that energy. We're looking for yeah, so okay, so this is basically like my idea book. So it's basically like where I just throw in all of my ideas because it's like, but for like my fancier pieces or I use like watercolor paper just because I'm using like paints and all that stuff. I don't know how much you can see, but it's basically like it holds a lot more paint and especially when I did do yeah, this one is just basically my like warm up book, I guess. So since it has I want to say it's 9 by 12. It has space. So the yeah, so what I do, at least my method that I found works for me is that I draw something in threes. So I come up with different poses and stuff all on the same page, and then whatever it is that I do like or that I would want as a finished piece, it's kind of like thumbnails, you know? And then that's what I transfer over to like this bad boy or like a different watercolor one. Like for my my shroom pieces, like they're watercolor books, like but the thing is they're more expensive, so I don't like to use them as yeah. So um yeah. So okay, so for Luffy, okay, I'm thinking let me see. I probably have to do oh, oh, nice. Yeah, there's some pretty good ones. I'm like looking at the. Now, do you want a chibi version? Do you want? Oh, I'm even looking at. Man, there's some cool like Luffy figurines. That's literally like how I look at references sometimes, especially when I haven't drawn a character before. Like looking up references and figurines and stuff really helps, just because of like posing and stuff. I'm like researching, I promise. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I got that from. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I didn't want to sneeze in your face. Um, so, um, my logo, I basically like I don't even know. Like for me, like I just really wanted spooky themes and a goose. Like I wish I could tell you like more. Yeah, I'm just gonna boop boop boop. Oh no, that's no problem. Oh, don't worry about it. I got you. I got you. Oh, thank you. I did. I think because I like spooky things, and also like my first picture, when I was on here, it was a where I got like the name and stuff was basically my user tag when I would play League and stuff. It was Haunted Goose. It was like a tag, and then I found a picture of a like stuffed goose with a witch hat. That's where I got the original. If I could find like the original picture, I'll like put it on here. Um, but that's where I at least got the idea of my name and like kind of the aesthetic. But wait, we're on Luffy territory. Oh, here it is. Okay, I found it. This was the origin story of. Yeah, right? Like I basically I saw this picture and it was like, "Oh my God, this is my everything. This is who I am." And, and I want to be this. This is my life goal right now. And so I don't even know how I found the picture. I don't know how it came into my life, but I ever since then like my gamer tag has always been Haunted Goose or something of that. And I was like, well, I want to stream. I want to do art. I've only really taught kids art, but like for me, I love coming on here, especially since the pandemic. Oh, we found our reference. Okay. Okay, I think what do you think? Is this acceptable? Is this something that like I feel Oh, okay, please don't die. Please don't die. Please. Yep. Okay, perfect. I was like, this is him. Like, this is perfect because awesome. Alrighty, so we're gonna do that. We're going to try. Let me just email this to myself really quick, so then, cause my phone is one of those types where it like it'll turn off like as soon as I pull up a reference, so I just email it to myself. Please look at this lovely blank space and this eraser. But yeah, that's how. So then like my camera can focus. Um, basically that's the origin story of how I got my name. It was just one. adorable plushie that I saw somewhere on the interwebs. Okay, perfect. We can X that out. Okay, perfect. Alrighty, we got our reference. So, how did you get into digital art? That is the price for this fan art. I need a backstory of like your art journey. That's it. That's the only price I have for fan art. I just need, unless it's difficult to type, in which you can happily lurk. That is perfectly fine. Oh yeah, it's true. You know why? Because it's always at the ready, or it's lost. It's either ready. It's no. One of my friends, she literally told me, she was like, "You are a specific type of artist because I kept the sleeve on." Like that's like some A type BS because like the sleeve is always the first for her to go, you know. Oh, nice. Oh, that's pretty funny. Oh, so it's kind of like you've always been into art, like it's always been your thing. Oh boy, now I'm nervous though. Oh God. I did like when it's one thing, it's completely one thing when you're drawing by yourself, but that's why I'm just like, please, for the love of God, just talk about your story. Don't look at my pencils, please. Don't look at this. Oh, I'm sorry if I breathed into my mic. Ugh. Especially Luffy, oh my gosh. I mean, he can't be that different from Zoro, right? Yeah, like it's like the same person, right? If he does end up like looking like Zoro, I apologize. It's what I'm used to, man. Like I promise I'm gonna try and keep his like childlike and innocence and it's just like no, 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 no. Like I want my man. There was a guy with a pencil. Oh, especially his smile. Like he has like the most perfect smile. He's definitely like one of the more like happy um like protagonists, I feel like as far as like anime goes, just because it is like the usually like protagonists are either very like brooding or oh the cool guy, but for whatever reason like I feel Luffy, he's just this ball of sunshine that like yo, but can we talk about Ace real quick though? Like oh, okay, nice. Yeah, so you wanted to like challenge yourself? Yeah, I can see that. Wait, oh my gosh, the portions are so bad. Wait, I got distracted by your origin story. Got so distracted. Poor Luffy, like his face went in a blender. Oh god. Luffy, you deserve better. This world isn't ready for you. Oh yeah. No, I completely understand. I went through the burnout. Like, mhm. For me, it was kind of like where I felt I hit like a plateau, if that makes sense. Like where I didn't know what I was doing and I like accepted the suck. Like I guess like where I don't know, like it was just one of those things where um I felt like, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm never going to be good enough and blah 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 and just like all this negative self-talk and cuz especially when like you teach kids and stuff, like you always have to be positive, right? Like it's kind of like it's their first introduction into art and Like you want it to be fun and but for whatever reason I didn't apply that to myself. So it was kind of like I was super hard on myself and oh, thank you. No, but that's the thing. It's like I get artist envy. You know, like I look at other artists and I go, "Oh man, I want to be like that. I want, especially when it comes to like coloring and painting and stuff. Like, I've been doing this, I want to say just for what, like close to like 10 years almost, and I was afraid to pick up a paintbrush after a while, Like it just came to a point where I you know, like I was fine when it came to like teaching kids but I wasn't applying it to like my own work, Like I was super hard on myself and I was like, "Oh, I'm not good enough," Uh like the idea of coming on stream and stuff is like terrifying because I was like, "Oh man, I'm not good enough to it's not until I get to this level then I can post it and then I can do." But in reality, like that day's never going to come because I don't push myself and I don't practice. And if I don't get out there, and, talk to other artists that are like this, by the end of it, I'm missing out on my practice and learning. And I think that's when I kind of was like, hey, my real goal isn't to be good, or to be like super good or better. It's just doing it. Like, I find a lot more enjoyment just sitting here blabbing about fan art and, fan fiction and, drawing. Like, I didn't wake up today and say, hey, I'm going to draw Luffy. Like, I didn't do that. Like, it helps when I, like, come on here and, talk to you guys and, put that practice out there. So, oh, thank you. So yeah, so what I did back in the States, because I'm in Japan now, because of my husband's work, and I teach English online. But before I did that, I actually worked at a kids' art museum, funny enough. So I first worked at an art studio where I taught 3 to 4 year olds. Those were my babies. And so I taught them kind of like the basics of stuff. So like the color wheel, blah, blah, blah. And like projects, like kind of like a summer program. And let me see. Wait, sorry, one moment. This needs to go down. So I would do that, and then eventually I started working at an art museum where I would do kind of like studio sessions with like local schools, and then eventually I got into like the preschool circuit. It's like this whole thing. But then when I moved here, it was kind of like, well, like basically the only jobs that are available because of COVID and stuff are online. So, oh yay, good, because that's like my whole thing, man. Like I feel like we need that, especially now where, like, I'm not gonna lie, like we're indoors most of the time, and I get fatigued, like just studying on my own. So I believe in you guys. You guys can do it. Like, you guys are crazy talented, and by the end of it, no one's been you before. So, like, take it easy on yourself. I feel like a giant hypocrite when I say it, but I completely understand those feelings. And you know what? There's gonna be times you're gonna feel the burnout. It's okay. Like, it is not bad to feel these ways. Yeah, man. That's why I come on here, because you guys inspire me to not stop and to keep going and to draw Luffy, because, like, I love One Piece and it gives me the perfect excuse. Because sometimes I feel guilty, like, I get this whole, like, I'm a fraud. Like, I suck. Like, why do I even bother, like, coming on here? Because it's like, oh God, no. But like the point I don't feel is like beating each other or like having one person be, because like art is subjective and um, but be kind to yourself during the process. There's gonna be days where yeah, it's not the way that you want it to, but it doesn't make it any less valid or like you always learn something, you know, like for example, I just learned that Luffy is way harder to draw than Zoro for whatever reason. Like literally like his face is so perfectly symmetrical from like the way he's like seriously, Ichiro Oda, like how do you do it? How did you make perfect circles all the time, sir? How do you make perfect backgrounds? Have you seen in the comics? Oh, thank you. No, no, no. It's too like I need to like widen it out a little, but like seriously, have you seen the backgrounds of One Piece? Like I don't know who that man has on his team where he can like crank out that obscene amount. Because I'll give it, okay, I hate pinning animes against each other because, we're an open channel, right? Like, we want to, like, not shame other fandoms, but let's be real. Like, in Naruto, in the manga, like, a lot of the villages kind of look the same, like, background wise. And it kind of had, like, I call it Dragon Ball syndrome, where it's kind of like no matter what, they always fought. Unless, I guess, the newer series, they're fighting in an arena, but they always, uh, like ended up being like in a empty field somewhere because it's easier to animate. Which honestly, for the fight scenes, I completely understand because I can't draw that. I can't even draw somebody who's full bodied half the time. Um, but like if you look at the backgrounds, like for One Piece, Jesus, like that, he can draw the hell out of a temple or like. But I know the case isn't always that. So my favorite, oh, like of all time. Like ever, like across like every anime. But yeah, that's just my hot take. I just see. This is why I do color pencils and I respect graphite because I draw out character at the moment, then all time after. Okay, at the moment, I'm thinking of like what I've recently watched. I recently watched the Castlevania. Oh, I love the Vampire Queen. I loved her so much I forgot her name. Just because it was the most recent one, she was. I love me a strong, evil, like villainous. I don't know why I like slant towards like villainous characters, but she was so cool. I'm literally googling it in because oh my gosh, why can't I find her? I just liked her Carmilla. There we go. See, I cheated. I like look at it. Oh, just let me know. Just let me know if like it's hiccuping. Like sometimes my Wi-Fi gives out a little bit, so just let me know if um just because I kind of just liked her character arc and like I don't know, as a villain, like she was crazy and I don't know, I liked her and her concept and her whole look. I don't know, I just like that. And then favorite ever, ever, I have to say probably the majority of like Full Metal Alchemist. Like I guess because I have like a big but also oh sure. Let me wait, let me just fix Luffy's head because like it's bothering me a little bit and then I shall wait, and then I'll pull her out. She was I just really liked that she was like really elegant and badass and I don't know, like it's just something that as far as you know why because a lot of villains I felt um like they're kind of a little too like crazy or I don't know, like I kind of like very sleek, very um like put together, I guess, like villains and stuff that like have cool purpose or, you know, like personality. And I felt she had a pretty cool personality. Um, oh my gosh, I'm looking at my drawing and I'm looking at the reference and like all I can think about is like, like those memes where it's like, oh, the thing, and then like you buy it on Wish and it's like the Wish version of it. Oh yeah, I was gonna ask. I was like, are you like which is your favorite as far as Oh, thank you. You're very kind. Um yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like very as far as characters go. Yeah, that was okay. Did he appear in Shippuden? Like he did he like or was it canon like before that? I just want to ask just because one of my friends, she's like watching it and she sees fan art of Madara, but like I said, I told her I was like, "Oh, you'll probably like run into him," but she hasn't. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. He's the legend. He is. Yeah, she's still in Orochimaru. Uh, he is the one. He is the chosen one. Like for me, I did in my Naruto like fan fiction days. I would basically be. I was the Ooh, I know. I was very much like fan fiction days. Like I know I was like totally like vanilla about it, and I did. I loved Sasuke. That was like my first. I have to be honest. It was like my first. I know, make fun of me, please. Like, roast me in the comments. But eventually, I saw the light, and like I slowly transitioned to liking Shikamaru, which was a character development for me. So but I did. I got up to the point of now. What are your opinions on Boruto? My like that is my true question for Naruto fans because I have not seen Boruto. I've seen like mixed reviews about it. Okay, we gotta accentuate this jawline, my friend. It's gonna be carved, man. Luffy has the jawline of the gods, and I do. I love like Zoro from One Piece. I like it's hard. It's like there's so many. Like I feel I had so many different phases of like nostalgia. Oh, okay. Like now, do you like it better than? I doubt it, but because like I feel with Naruto, everyone has their nostalgia. But I know I hear even like the original. Oh, good. Oh, good, good. Is it basically like it's is it just following his family, or like there are other generations like getting in the mix? Like what's going on? I'm so sorry if I'm making you type so much. I apologize. I see water. You are carrying the chat on your back and your back must hurt so bad. I apologize. I promise I'll make this fan art like worth it for your back pain. Well, that's true. It's like I feel there were certain arcs like for me like the Great War. and stuff, it definitely amped up. But okay, how are our feelings about Sakura? Can we Yeah, that's what I've heard too. Like where they over from what I've heard the critiques are that like it over explains the whole chakra thing, and it's kind of like what happened with Star Wars where they started explaining the fourth with like midichlorians, and then it's like you got lost in the plot, and it's like they're trying to get a new fan base, but like the old one is still like what? Baidu, I just no, and there's certain things that I feel as a fan base, uh, like you really feel like when wait, can we talk about like One Piece spoilers? Like I can tell you I'm super far behind even on One Piece, but like we do know what happens. Like I'll drop a hint and then you can say yay or nay, but like we do know what happens to Luffy's brother. Like you know his fate. Like it's like something like I feel the whole fan base felt, and I feel like yeah, and I felt it was gonna end up being a fit. It's kind of what happened with Game of Thrones, like where there was so much hype to it that like it was bound to like disappoint a lot of people just because there was so much, and that they wanted to appeal to like a new fan base, like okay, I feel I'm so sorry if I'm breathing in the mic. I will probably lift it when yeah, like especially like character development wise, right? Like yeah, all the characters grew up and then, they went and had a family uh there are some things that like oh, okay, like it plays up on nostalgia, I am assuming. Um but man, do they ever get out of the Leaf Village? This is like my thing. Like you have so many different types of villages and structures and government and stuff. So it's like, dang it, like are we still going to stay in the Leaf Village? Like yeah, yeah. Well, it makes sense just because no, too, they're trying to appeal to a different generation. I get it. I get it. Like I can't give my opinions on it because I literally watched like one or two episodes with my baby cousin and like he's never watched anime before and he loved it. And so like I was basically enjoying it through like his lens because he was like, "Oh my gosh, ninjas." And so I feel it's like for another generation, I can see it. Oh, thank God. Okay, so they move out of the Leaf Village. Okay. Thank God. Like, because that was like my biggest thing. It's just like, Jesus, they literally introduced so many governments, and especially when you meet like Gara and his family, and like then he becomes the Kazekage, and then you're just like, oh man, that's badass. Like, dang it. Like, see, this is like a missed opportunity, man. Like, see, this is okay. Have you watched Harry Potter? It's like, I know that sounds like a silly question, but it's kind of like in Harry Potter where like literally it's like Gryffindor and Slytherin and like screw the other like houses. Like that's why I brought up Harry Potter just because it's like in the lore unless you get into oh, come on, Cosmic. You know why I know you know because you spelled it correctly. You spelled it completely correctly and I'm just like and with capital letters. So if you know what, it sounds to me like you already even know your house. That's how it is. You not only spelled it correctly, but you capitalized it on top of it, like our Lord and Savior. So something tells me you know. Can I guess what house you're in? Is it? It's Hufflepuff, isn't it? I see Water's gonna throw hands now. Be like, no, how dare you? I'm clearly a Ravenclaw. Slytherin? Slytherin. Oh, have you not taken the test? Okay, homework assignment. Gotta take a test. There's an official test that you can take. It's like clearly. Or you can do it like how my friends did it, and like depending on which house like your Harry Potter crush was in, that's the one that you revolved around. If you've never gone to the Universal, like I definitely I oh you haven't. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. Like by the end of it, you pick honestly pick it by your favorite color, pick it by or don't pick it at all. It doesn't. Um, I also wrote Harry Potter fiction, so the comparison. Oh yeah, the comparison. So basically, where in the Harry Potter movies, they only focus on Gryffindor and Slytherin. So it's like those two main houses. There were clearly like four, so it's like clearly Gryffindor, Slytherin, Hufflepuff. Oh my gosh, and Ravenclaw. Wait, did I say that? Yeah. So four houses, but in the whole franchise, they basically just yeah, they just that's it, and it's like screw them. So I felt like Naruto did the same thing, where it's like it was flavor of the week ninja, but it's like screw what those It's kind of I only noticed that when I watched I think like Legend of Korra or um like the Avatar series, where it's like literally they go to the different nations and it's like oh wow, like they have a whole different form of politics. They airbend or uh like waterbend or they have different forms of culture and stuff. So I felt Naruto in a lot of the episodes. That's why when Shippuden came out, I was like super hyped because I'm just like, yes, finally they're gonna get out of the damn village. Like, if they're going to, especially once you go up the rank, I assumed they're gonna like spy or there's politics or something. But that's See, this is why people they don't get in conversations with me because they're just like, "Yo, you think too deep for this. Like, it's a kids show, chill." Like, I think about this stuff, man. Is that the one I want to say is that the one where this like it's like a kid where oh man, like he's trying to prevent the death of somebody? Like is that the Oh, I haven't watched Shield here. Oh, I'm writing these down. Wait, excuse me. Are they on Oh, I can probably Oh, in case you wanted to know Carmilla's, like, because I know you asked about the Castlevania. Let me see. Like her concept. She's a vampire queen. I just had it like pulled up on my phone, so I thought. Yes, okay, that's what I thought. Like where it's kind of okay. I think I've seen a couple of episodes, but not all the way through. Um, Let me see. Wait, I'm looking at this right now. Oh no, I'm thinking of something else. Oh, I do love her though. I've seen fan art of her, like the one with the blue hair. Oh yeah, no, I have not seen this. Like, but I've seen like fan art of her. She's adorable. I just like her aesthetics. Like she's very cute. But is he like trapped in a like I think it's is it similar to oh my gosh, what's that anime where like where he's trapped in a video game, but then if he dies, he like dies for real, sort of thing. Okay, wait, I made this. I do love like the little like I don't know why like the art kind of reminded me of Black Butler. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the same. The same? No, no, it's probably different. Oh man, I haven't watched that, and that I remember Black Butler when I was on my Orion Host Club phase too. Yeah, right. Okay, because it's a very shallow reason why I've seen fan art of hers. It's because she's my favorite color. Like it's because her hair, it reminds me of Sailor Mercury, and I always pick Sailor Mercury anytime I play Sailor Moon with my friends. So it's legitimately because like I draw things in blue. Oh, Black Clover. Okay, my husband is. I think it ended. No? Am I like remembering that incorrectly? I saw a couple episodes where, yeah, it's like the mages and stuff, and like where one of like they were friends or something like that in a village, and like did it end? Oh, see, I'm thinking of the wrong thing. No, it wasn't Black Clover, wasn't it? It was something else. Was it Attack on Titan? Because I know he's reading one or the other. Black Clover. Wait. Oh man. See, I just remember like the bad guy. It had like these wings, and like there was like dark magic, and they were trying to find like I think like was it like the Supreme? Yes. Yeah. And then there was also. Oh, I apologize if my internet connection went off a little bit. Yeah, and wasn't there? Are those the names of the? See, this is why. Like that's why I keep even like an anime list. I just remember one was the very charismatic one, and then like where one's the troublemaker and who I think he always hit on the nun. Or like yeah, or was her name Sarah? Am I like remembering that wrong? Yeah, like where he's like, "I'm gonna marry you. I love you so much. Please notice me. I'm trying to be." And then the other one was kind of like the quiet tsundere character, where it's like, "Please, for the love of God, leave me alone. I just want to brood. Let me brood." And it was kind of like, "Oh, okay, all right." Yeah, and wasn't there? I'm so sorry if this is a spoiler or not. I'm just really trying to remember that there was also like a fifth Clover. Like, oh, nice. Okay. Oh, is it Attack on Titans? Did I get that? Did I get that acronym correct? I saw up to the point, at least on Attack on Titan, where I think it was the previous season or the one where, uh, man, where they were like attack. Oh wow, this sounds super broad, but where they find out one of the characters is a Titan. Yeah, okay, good. Oh, thank God. Oh, okay, good, good. Yeah. Like, oh, I hope I didn't spoil anything for anybody. But yeah, like where one, I think of the girls or something, like they're protecting a tower and then like she ends up being oh, ooh, new season. Is it on Crunchyroll? Is it? Okay, wait. Let me look at looking. Oh, it's because this is too raised. That makes sense. Oh, okay. I'm gonna add it to my. I know, like we literally just finished Castlevania, and oh, I saw Parasite. That is, if you don't like scary, don't watch it because it's. I mean, it's just very psychological, like a psychological. Uh, yeah, I if you want to get into like horror or ooh, okay. Oh, nice. I did like the art and um all I heard people even with Attack on Titan from what I remember watching and it's true just don't get invested. Like I think that's the it's a very Game of Thrones like where it's just like just don't get too attached to like basically anybody. 'Cause anybody's free game, which I like, you know. In storytelling, tears will be shed. Um, it's very suspenseful too. Oh, yes. Yes, I know what you mean. The yes. Yeah, no, I won't say anything because I know there's people. Have you watched the movie? Because I know it came out, but oh, we also Demon Slayer. That was we actually watched the movie. Um, where because I never watched the anime before, my husband did, and we kind of met in the middle and just saw the movie. So I got to like learn a little bit more about the characters and stuff, but that's really I just watched the movie. It's basically the part of the anime where they go on the train and then really? Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like where it's the one where from what I know it's just one. Um wait, is that the one see, I'm bad with the names. I just know color scheme, and I just know there was the fire demon slayer. There's the like, the vampire girl. The main character, the boarhead. The boarhead is my favorite. He is freaking hilarious. Oh, okay, the one with the fire. Okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Like, I don't know why he reminds me. If I'm thinking of the right character, he reminds me a little bit of All Might. Like, if All Might was like a demon slayer. Oh, Dororo. Okay, no, stop. I just remembered. Dororo is a freaking the. Oh my god. Yeah. Until. Oh, okay. Dororo. It sounds dumb because the name sounds dumb, but like the reamp of it, the storytelling, the characters, like I don't know why. It just because I literally we watched like the movie and then we started watching Dororo from like the recommendation of one of my friends. My god, it is so good. It is storytelling wise, like, oh my gosh, it like talks about war and oh my gosh, there's so much character development and geez. Oh, okay, see, yeah, then I need to watch it because for me, I saw the movie and I thought I got the gist of it. But okay, I need to watch. I do. I like. Okay, but the question is, because my husband he likes to tease me and he doesn't give me. He gives me fake answers and then I think they're real and then now I don't know what's real. The boar head, it's a costume, right? Like his head isn't an immovable boar, right? Because I had to fill in the gaps since I never watched an episode before. Um, okay, thank God, because I make up these things in my head that I think make sense, and then my husband, being the troll that he is, just agrees with these theories, and then I think they're canon, and then I just go, yeah, I thought his head was an actual boar and it was like a curse. There's magic in this universe, okay? I can't be too far off because there's magic in the universe. But okay, no, that makes sense. That it's a costume. I did. I thought so because I saw a meme where he, where he got like his mask damaged thing, and then the meme was that he was hunting down Peppa Pig. I thought it was real. I don't know. I read too much. I have like an active imagination. So if I don't know the answer, I'll just make up the answer. But like truly my husband is to blame because he confirms all these things and he's like, "Yeah, totally. Totally, totally." That's totally a thing. There was totally like an episode where this man got cursed with a pig head. Totally canon. Now you can understand like where once you write fan fiction, it never truly leaves you. Like Especially like growing up, my brother and I, we would watch movies, and as we were one of those people that we wouldn't shut up during, only in the comfort of our homes. We would never. Oh yeah, he's legendary. He is. The thing is with my husband is he's quiet. He's like the silent. He's that silent. But when he chooses to speak, it's legendary, and he chooses the trolliest of options. Like, oh my god. Like you wouldn't you don't expect it cuz he is a quiet fellow and, very reserved and, but when he opens up, it's like opening up a Pandora's box, and like he'll never admit it. Like he'll just be like, "No, you're crazy. What are you talking about?" Like, it's totally it. Like he has the worst poker face, and you think he's for real. Like that, or I'm just extremely gullible, which is equally valid. But it just fuels him. That's it. I'm like, so here we see another reason why I don't use graphite pencils, because I make decisions and it's not until later. Okay, so I'm trying to. Okay, maybe. Okay, so basically, out of those, okay, I gotta watch a Demon Slayer. I gotta watch Attack on Titan. Like, I'm a little hesitant to watch Attack on Titan because I feel it's gonna like make me sad, but oh, it's okay. Like, well, nothing made me cry like Dororo, so. Oh, I also heard, what was it? Oh, we watched Your Name. I think that was the name of the. Okay, I will. Oh no, I have to warn you. I'm probably gonna like start drawing fan art of one of those listed above, especially if I really like a character. Like, oh god, I had to finish up a painting. Like, what am I gonna do? I literally have like this one, but the good thing is it's not due till like September. But this is basically like one of the paintings that I'm gonna work on. Um, so that means I can probably squeeze in some fan art in there. Oh, okay, good. Alrighty, I'll add it to. I wonder if it's on. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's just something I'm working on. So, um, like, what I do is that I kind of like print out. So, like, I did it on a sketch. This is pretty good, especially if you're similar to me, where you go traditional and since you started off with pencil and now you're doing digital. So what I do is this is actually on a physical sketchbook, like on a different one. And what I do is I either take a picture of it or scan it. And then what I do is that I color it basically digitally, and then make art like color decisions based on what I pick on the computer. And oh, thank you. But yeah, this is from, oh my gosh, if you would see like the test sheets and stuff, because I did it kind of the hard way where I would make copies of it and then manually do it, so you see like this has like paint and like pencil and stuff just to like test out like kind of the textures. But this was after like, yeah, and it saves you on time. Like, see guys, it's not only me. Like this is a tested theory. Um yeah, especially once you get into um like digital art and stuff, you can save some time. Like, seriously, I've seen Ichiro Oda like draw Luffy in like seconds, and I'm just like, well, too, he's drawn him for like decades at this point, but at first I'm just like, Jesus, how? No, the same, like, if you see like some, because I only really know Attack on Titan from like the first couple seasons and then fan art from what people do. My God, like the fan arts that people do, they're so good. Jesus. Like, there's some talented, talented people who. Oh yeah, no, yeah. Oh, thank you. And to like, I'm a little distracted with like fun anime talk. I just, oh, poor Luffy, like his hair's cut off. But I am very relieved, at least that. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine like. Oh man, I've never really attempted to draw a Titan or like the same when I see people do like tattoos and stuff of Titans and stuff. Jesus, like wow. Oh yeah, that's true. I think that's what it is. I just got distracted. No, and two, I'm like telling myself, I'm just like, please don't make it look like Zoro. Don't make it, because too, I like really the only One Piece characters that I've drawn before are Zoro, Perona, and oh my gosh, what is her name? The Mermaid Princess. I drew her once for Mermaid, like the Mermaid Challenge. Is something with a she? I know. Oh gosh. He is. Oh my gosh, I do. Oh my gosh, when like he like battled like Mihawk and all that. Oh my gosh. And I do, and I like the other characters too. Like I do I guess like with One Piece it's like one of those animes that has like a lot of character variety, you know? Like there's a little bit of everything for everybody. Oh, especially when they went to Impel Down and like oh for me of course because as you can tell I like the spooky spooks when they went to like the castles and like that whole story arc um I don't know, I guess I like how like every season and stuff it had like a different theme and a different island and like I'm behind but like I'm basically where see this is why I'm so behind like with like Big Mom, I'm still in that arc where like Sanji's still getting like married. Oh yes, no, I understand. He's your main man. He is your man. I completely understand. It is. I feel like we all have our characters that I was the same when like basically my friends and I we would have like a specific character that yeah, I know. I know. I'm so behind. I know literally like my husband's like you can literally read faster. Like why are you even like bothering? He is because he's like a quick reader, so he literally like I'm like no, I need to know all the nuance, and he's like this is why you're so far behind. You need to watch every single little thing, and because I do, I like the art. I guess that's just what it is. I know, I know. No, and what's worse is that people give me cool recommendations. No, I'm joking. I do. I like the recommendations. It's good just because we do have like a new foster puppy that she needs basically like practice to be around people and stuff like that. So we give her a little bit of space, but we try and socialize with her and have a bit of couch time and that's basically like my anime like catch up time or scary movies because it's always one or the other. All right, Ice. I apologize. I need to like cut our amazing conversation short. But I'm gonna finish up this sketch. Hopefully not ruin it with ink. Is like something is ink invalid? Like Do you want to just leave it on the pencil stages? I know, because it's relaxing. It's relaxing. That's what I try to do. I try to be like the female Rick Ross of our generation. Oh, but hopefully, maybe like you can. Oh my goodness, please go to sleep. Yes, this is your PSA to please go to sleep, hydrate, have sweet dreams, get out there, please be motivated. After your sleep, get sleep first. Don't be motivated right now. Just relax. But I will catch you on the next stream. Thank you so much. Oh, and thank you so much for like the awesome fan art suggestion too. I will wrap it up and oh, yay, you too. Alrighty, I will catch you next time, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll post all of our lovely sketches on the Instagram. If you want more news or more updates on what we're going to be doing for next stream, just tune into that. But other than that, I'm going to let you guys go. And thank you so much for everything. You guys have a wonderful day, night. Have a good one, guys. Bye. Thank you.